Meme coin season. Can it continue? Yes. Will things end badly? Maybe. Are there seasonal factors pointing to things like hyperinflation? You better tune in. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live. And if the content works for you, hit the like button. All right, let's welcome who's here on the stream on Monday. We have Kennedy giving me some love for the goatee. Appreciate that. Jeff is here. Willimeter. I'd buy that for $1. Well said. You might be a meme coin guy. Everybody's a meme coin guy these days. We're going to talk about the Homer coin, Pepe, and I'm going to start talking about GLDN, believe it or not. It's the FU to the system coin. So if you're interested, a whole new way to talk about this. If you're interested in a coin with a $6 million market cap that's actually executing on real businesses, stay tuned, right? Because people are buying like Homer Simpson coin, and I'm all about memes having value, but we got to talk about economic value and maybe even say a few things about the Ben coin, right? Which is Ben Armstrong BitBoy's new venture that's going to have utility behind it, right? What kind of valuation does that have? Valuations may matter. There's a big parallel between what's going on now and the internet stock boom in 1999. Want to know more? Don't go anywhere. Okay, Robert Wiley, Bark in the buy zone. Yes, Bark is a water token. It's a water token, and I'm telling you right now, if you ever wanted to learn about like my day job, what I do, you know, the people who are, you know, working furiously to make a water trading system, the CEO of Blue Arctic, our water group, spoke here, and it was probably one of the best things we've ever done. Ever. This guy talking about all the things he mentioned. I'm not even going to spoil it for you. Okay, I'm going to say one thing. In order to make Coca-Cola, you need water. Go check it out for yourself. Pablo, what's up? John from Kansas, Reverend Flashback. Aiken with the notorious love, thank you. Language trainer. Don't call it a comeback. He's been here for years. Iron Alien, welcome. I'd buy that for $1. I still like that. Let's rock and roll. Okay, I'm diving into news. Andre, welcome. Home prices rebound in Canada. Oops, let's do this one first. Americans have low confidence in Biden, Powell, and Yellen. Okay, well, normally presidents and maybe secretaries of the Treasury can take it on the chin, but there's something really meaningful about this. Very meaningful. Americans know who Jerome Powell is. They know who he is. Most of the time, you walk up to some guy on the street and say, hey, who's in charge of the Fed? They can't tell you. They don't know. They don't know. But they know who Powell is. Why? Because they're suffering from inflation. Rates are going higher in their face. And it's not making their life better, which could mean this tightening cycle comes to a grinding halt. This could also be the beginning of the end of the credibility of the U.S. government. Home prices rebound in Canada. Okay, transactions rise 11.3%. So at least housing is trading. In Austin, Texas, housing is not trading. Nobody who has a 3% mortgage wants to sell. So ironically, you would think at a point where everybody is selling, no one is selling because no one wants to sell for lower prices and then go out and have to rebuy with higher rates. So as usual, whatever the Fed is doing is backfiring, but at least there's some liquidity. Robinhood wants to make stock markets like crypto 24/7. Okay, so I think Robinhood is trying to lure retail in, and it's kind of a trap, right? A lot of times these companies, when they offer stuff, you know, They want everybody to trade 24 hours, but you don't always make money trading 24 hours. The big institutions do. Galaxy is doing on-chain OTC options, right? So Galaxy stock up 10% today. The crypto investment bank, in my opinion, has got a lot of upside to go. Okay, it's got to track, I think, even though they're two separate businesses. I don't know how you separate a Bitcoin miner from a crypto hedge fund. Okay, eventually there is going to be large-scale trading in crypto, and Galaxy is going to be part of that as like the critical investment bank, the way Solomon Brothers was for government bonds back in the 80s. Okay, U.S. crypto firms setting sail for Bermuda. Stifling innovation does not help the United States. As a matter of fact, stifling innovation really just brings you things like meme coins. Liquidity wants to go into innovation, but if there's no innovation, it goes into speculation. Hey, that rhymes. Okay, Samsung to deepen online CBDC payment research. This is the key. One of the things you have to remember about CBDCs is really they're theoretical. They're conceptual. They're political. Okay? When you think about the tech stack that would be required to transmit a CBDC to all the major banks, all the private blockchains, okay, the general public, okay, integrating a CBDC does not happen overnight. I don't even think it happens in 5 years. Bitcoin addresses holding 1 Bitcoin or more reaches 1 million. Okay, convicted buyers have bought up cheap Bitcoin, period. Period. Now, can Bitcoin go lower because long bonds fall apart and interest rates rise? Yes, it can. Okay, can people get stopped out? Maybe. Maybe. But to these people, and even to us, I mean, okay, yeah, if you're levered, there's a big difference between 27 and 23. But is there really a difference? Especially if you look out, I don't know, a year, 6 months? I mean, there isn't. Checks NFT ecosystem. Physical print-backed elements collection. Art and the economy is not correlated. Okay? Art matters. Can you afford this art? Maybe. Maybe not. Okay, but art is going to matter. Everyone is like, NFTs are dead. Yeah, the speculative component of NFTs are dead. The art component of it is not. Okay, so the Department of Justice is cracking down on exchanges. So ironically, meme coin, frenzy, pump and dumps, and rug pulls are rampant, and everybody is worried about exchanges. I understand there's anti-money laundering things, but again, you're going to see this every day, and the question you have to ask yourself is pretty simple. Can these guys stop crypto? They can't stop meme coins. Now, they're going to have something to say about meme coins eventually because of how hammered people are getting, most likely. The rug pulls are probably incredible. But these guys are not slowing down crypto. They're not. Okay? So OpenAI has a crypto project, or at least its CEO does. Fresh investment worth over $100 million. Okay. Crypto projects, meme coins, things with utility, valuations in crypto are rising. They're rising. That's because, the Fed tightening cycle is ending. This is probably innovative. I'm talking to Singularity Net. I met them at Consensus. I'm really interested in what they're doing. Crypto valuations are rising. Now, the G7 is going to discuss crypto regulation. I wonder if they can have a G7 meme coin. They've got Homer Simpson, Bambi, Kermit the Frog, and Pepe. Why not the G7? You know, these guys want to stop crypto. What they should have done was stop centralized entities that their regulatory agencies should have known about. They should have. Okay, ETH holders. So there's a glitch in the ETH network, not to mention these meme coins are creating, you know, what some people think are higher gas fees, although I think people forget what happened in 2020. Yes, Donato is reminding everybody to hit the like button. Do it. Minimize the screen on your phone, hit the like button, and go back. Demand for staking has surged, resulting in over a wait time to get a 5% yield as of Monday. Interesting. First, it was like, oh my God, they're going to sell everything and go to zero. No, they were never going to do that. That was never going to happen. Now everyone is trying to get 5% by staking ETH, because who wants a 5% US Treasury bill when they could default? I mean, do you realize what happens to the short-term debt obligations if everybody freaks out that they're going to default? I'll take my 5% and I'll take my chances with ETH. This is horrible, right? Binance announces exit from Canada. Undoubtedly, Kraken is happy about that, but, you know, less liquidity in crypto for the public hurts the little man. It hurts the little man. U.S. cities, unmanageable. The property sector is collapsing. People move to the suburbs for COVID, and they're never coming back to city centers. So all these giant skyscrapers, I don't know who's going to rent them. You know, and I don't know who wants to work in downtown Chicago. I like this. U.S. agency warns of significant risk of debt default by mid-June. So this has got a couple of important components to it. One is mid-June, right? We're going to go through the chart later, but the credibility of the United States government is going to get questioned. The dollar is going to get hit, and so are Treasury bonds. The Gold Retriever trading team, right? Graduates of the Gold Retriever Commodities Trading School, they were up all night doing a profitable long bond trade. So shout out to our boss and the trading desk. Always happy to support you any way I can. Debt default is higher rates. Higher rates, even though Kramer thinks it's a good idea, we'll talk more about that. It's not. Okay. How to end the debt ceiling standoff. Okay. You know what? If people have to write articles about how to end the debt ceiling standoff, the United States is in trouble. The United States is in trouble. I mean, politicians should know that this is obvious. I mean, can it get any more contentious? I was reading the history of 2011. We'll try to go through that later on. I want to leave enough time. This is not funny. And it's no wonder people are speculating in meme coins. Honestly. I mean, where else are you going to put your capital? People are looking for returns in a world where these guys could go, you know, these guys could blow up Legacy. So if Legacy can blow up and go to zero, well, why not go to crypto? Why not go to meme coins? They can go to zero too. Yeah, but I can make money over there. How much money am I going to make in this Legacy system? That sounds insane, right? G7 to ban the restart of Russian gas pipelines. You know, there's risk of a geopolitical event. I keep saying it. It doesn't really happen, but it doesn't have to happen. There's a lot of time left in this year. A lot. Will it be these guys, Russia, Taiwan? I don't know. I'm sorry. China, Taiwan. But tension seems to build every day. I really like this. Fed faces long battle to trim inflation back to 2%. Okay. There's only one way to get inflation back to 2%, and that's to have a crash. You need an across-the-board crash in risk assets. Now, maybe you don't get it in stocks. I'm actually starting to wonder whether the crash is in our bond market. Nothing like a little Chinese malware in your phone. I have to confess, I really like TikTok and its functionality. Okay. And I heard Elon tweeted out something about TikTok this morning that as soon as a 13-year-old opens up an account, you know, they get a barrage of like things about mental health, both positive and negative. It's unbelievable. This underscores to me the need for freedom. Like the United States government's in your phone, the Chinese government's in your phone. Neither one of them are your friends. They're not. And crypto and freedom matters. Okay, Endless Hope, Romania is here. Crypto Crazy, nice to see you. Crypto Clan, welcome. Welcome. Okay, Laughing Dolphin is here in the UK, looking forward to wisdom. The UK, my heart goes out to you. They got 13% inflation and 4% interest rates. Don't even know how those guys are going to manage that situation. Bull Runner, regulars, Top Semper Fidelis, welcome. Michael, hello. Okay, let's do a quick check of the market. Okay, so this is the head and shoulders top in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is now, 27,500. ETH, same head and shoulders pattern, pretty much hit the neckline directly. Possible target, 1,400. Ouch. How would that even happen? We'll go through that. Let's go to PowerPoint, where we're going to talk meme coins, the how and the why behind meme coins. Like, what is going on? Like, how did people all of a sudden decide to start speculating? So Homer Simpson, part of my generation, is now in the house, up 60,000%, trying to actually get rights from the Simpsons. And they've managed to raise $7.5 million. Again, a massive shift in crypto valuations thanks to the trouble in legacy. Money is going somewhere. Liquidity is going somewhere. The general public is saying F you and is rebelling on inflation. So here's the head and shoulders top in Bitcoin. Here's how a head and shoulders top works. Market rushes up. Bears push it back. Bulls make a climactic new high. Bears push it back. Bulls are like, you know what? I'm sick of you. We're taking it up. And bears reject them. And bulls lose heart. You break the neckline here. If you reject it, you'll come back down to 22,700. Now, if that happens and ETH goes to, like, say, 1,400, that will conclude your meme coin trade. Okay. Also, just so you know, when you have these formations, if they break, there's nothing more bullish than a bearish formation that doesn't work. So a lot of people think meme coin season ends badly. It probably does. But, if Bitcoin doesn't crack, that's constructive. Now, we'll see what happens because, again, long-term interest rates are rising, and that's never good for crypto. Okay, the ETH head and shoulders top, 1850, right? Key level there, 1850 is also a key DeMark level from those dotted lines. Now, let's talk about something that I don't always talk about. You got a lot of people from this community on the stream, but, not everybody is, so why don't I talk about it? I work for a group called Emerging Asset Group. Okay, we are trying to do commodities on the blockchain. This is GLDN, the flagship token. GLDN pays you a reward. It pays you a reward in Pax Gold for holding it. Now, GLDN is a gold play. It can also be used to buy a water token called Bark. And again, please don't take my word for it on Bark. head on over to my Twitter at crypto_noble and listen to the head of Bark, the head of Blue Arctic, talk about our water business and how profits from the water business will be used to buy back and support these tokens. So imagine someone had a real business, and when they made money, they legally used it to consume or buy back. The legal term is consume the token. So if, for example, if Blue Arctic sells water to Nestle and Coca-Cola, because these big bottling companies can't move in to places in the United States and just dry up wells, our water comes from Greenland. We use them to consume the tokens, the profits from these businesses. We're talking to this huge engineering firm, which I think I've got in here, that talks to the U.S. government. We're consulting with this firm that consults with the government about how FEMA builds things like, I don't know, pipeline, gets water to people. We're doing this. We're executing on this. This is happening. So what's GLDN? Well, if you don't understand the water business and you don't understand that we're making our own gold token, how about 47th Street in New York where they sell diamonds and jewelry? How about doing that all on chain? You never have to go through a bank. So you want to go off chain, on chain to a bank and then the jewelry district or the gold district? No. Profits from Block 47, guess what they do? They buy back this token. Now, let's pretend none of that made any sense to you and you don't care. What about GLDN as an F to system trade? What if GLDN was a meme of F the system? F it. I want to buy gold, water, and I want to buy metals and jewelry and diamonds on chain. Take your debt ceiling debacle, take your tax rates, take your political division, take Jerome Powell and shove it. GLDN, the FU coin, the FU meme coin. Now, what you can see with GLDN here is that it went all the way up. It went to $5, and then it's come back down to 50 cents in a downward sloping winter, which is exactly what happened to Bitcoin in 2017. Right? Now, GLDN is a small cap coin. It's moving faster. Right? This trade in Bitcoin took longer to develop, but it was all the way up, all the way down, and then a downward sloping winter. And here is all the way up, all the way down with a downward sloping winter. This has a $6 million market cap. Bambi has a $6 million market cap. BitBoy's token Ben, which I think I've got in here somewhere, has a $25 million market cap. And that has utility attached to it. So, you know, this is Ben. I don't normally have a case to bring this up. Market cap is 27 million. Okay. It was a lot higher than that at one point. Crypto valuations have changed. So unless all this goes to zero, which is always possible, how is the Bambi meme coin trading at the same value as a coin that's rebelling against the system by putting commodities on the blockchain? Now, again, it's up to Mr. Market. And normally I don't have a case to make a case, or I don't have a chance to make the case. This is AECOM. This is this epic consulting firm that the U.S. government works with on infrastructure. We talk to these guys all the time. Again, the Twitter space will give you everything you need to know. I don't have to shill anything if you listen to our water trading CEO. Now, let's go back to macro and interest rates, right? What can drag down crypto, right? Now, I think anything that can drag down crypto actually helps the gold, water, diamonds trade. That's just me. I work there. I own the token, not investment advice. This is the U.S. 30-year bond. Okay. Kramer thinks that the 20-year yield will rise, meaning long-term rates will be greater than short-term rates once again. Now, in legacy nerd terms, this is called a bear steepening. Okay, meaning Kramer thinks it's great that long-term interest rates rise. He thinks they're going to rise because the economy's great. That scares me. Long-term interest rates are going to rise because the U.S. government's going to lose credibility. Just in, Kramer says an economic wave is about to hit that will be fantastic for investors. You know, he does do this on purpose. He has to, right? And the case for, you know, higher rates because of the loss of the credibility of the U.S. government is not an economic wave that's fantastic for investors. Now, frequently on the show, I talk about planetary movements. Some people like it. Some people don't. Some people think I'm out of my mind. No problem. Let's talk about Argentina. Argentina, according to Bloomberg this morning, they're doing rate hikes to 97% to stop hyperinflation. Now, there have been multiple inflation episodes in Argentina. One of the biggest was in 1976, according to ChatGPT. Inflation rate was 444%. And this inflation persisted for years, and I think eventually led to war. Not over the inflation, but, you know, the society destabilized. Now, 1976 was a part of a cycle involving the planet Jupiter. Jupiter is moving into a section of space as of today that kind of, I don't know, changes or inflates things. That's what Jupiter does. It inflates things, like meme coins, for example. But this particular Jupiter movement may not be good, because there are a lot of things that have happened when you've had this sort of like Jupiter cycle before. Some of them were geopolitical. So ChatGPT, 1904, okay? A war between the Russians and the Japanese, and this line here, the war disrupted global oil trade. Oil currently is at $71, and I can't wait to see the U.S. government try to fill the oil reserves during driving season. They're doing it in June. 1916, a battle of World War I claimed 700,000 lives. 1928, stock market bubble. Also, a lot of stuff happened geopolitically with Russia and China during that time period. 1940, right? The fall of Paris. 1952, the first hydrogen bomb test. 1964, U.S. warships get attacked in the Gulf of Tonkin in Vietnam, and Congress gives the president a blank check to conduct war with no declaration of war, resulting in inflation. War is inherently inflationary. 1976, the hyperinflation in Argentina. 200th birthday of the United States. Okay. 1988, the Iran-Iraq war ended. So it isn't always bad. It is a geopolitical shift. 1988, though, was in the wake of the 87 crash. I'll get to that in a minute. 1999, the euro was invented. So, you know, the euro was like the meme coin of its day. Let's invent a new form of money. Let's hyperinflate internet stocks. More on that in a minute. And NATO started bombing Kosovo. Now, in 2011, you have the Arab Spring. Okay. You have the earthquake that hits Japan with the Fukushima meltdown. Back to 1999. Amazon had a price earnings ratio of 1,000. eBay had a price to sales ratio of 100. This was like one of the biggest bubbles anybody's ever seen. This includes crypto. I went to business school in 2000, and they were trying to rewrite finance textbooks to somehow account for what was going on. That's how unbelievable it was. Like, it defied all laws of finance to the point where they had to actually start trying to change the laws of finance. 2011, a lot of text here. Sorry. ChatGPT. Negotiations for the debt ceiling went down to the second to last day. So 2 days before a default, they came to an agreement. I can't even see, I mean, the president at that time was Barack Obama. And, you know, there was a lot of right versus left, as there always is in the United States, but not like today. And U.S. government debt was downgraded. I mean, the only reason rating agencies probably haven't done it right now is probably because we're threatening them. This is way worse than 2011. Now, back to shifts related to this Jupiter cycle, because it's all about cycles, right? It's all about cycles in crypto. In 1988, the Fed had to capitulate, right? They had been raising rates. They caused the 87 crash, and they had to take the Fed funds rate from 7.25% in September to 6.5% in December of 87, and then they further dropped it to 5.25% in May 88. Greenspan had to cut to prevent the 87 crash from turning into a calamity, which is probably what Jerome Powell may have to do eventually, especially if you have like a repeat of what you had in 1940, which was a geopolitical event and a dramatic stock market event, which could happen in the fall. Now, back to meme coins. 2011 is on the list. Jupiter, right? Inflating Bitcoin all the way up from 50 cents to $31, all the way back down to $1.64. Now, I don't think this happens in Bitcoin, but obviously it's kind of already sort of happened in Pepe, because Pepe can't recover above the 62% retracement. So this all the way up and all the way down, dollar cost averaging in meme coins, to me, doesn't make any sense. You either catch it as it's going up, right? Or trying to DCA and these things on the way down and get dogmatic about any of these coins is a mistake if you look at these cycles. So here's Pepe, right? All the way up, back down to 62%. I'm not saying this chart looks bad. It doesn't look good, but it doesn't, you know, it doesn't look terrible. Now, it would be very interesting if this just took off again, but you would need a much broader crypto rally for that to happen. And based on what happened in 1999 and 2011 in Bitcoin, don't think I want to do it. What I do like about meme coin season is it's making companies with $6 million valuations look cheap, which is why the F the system coin comes to mind. Now, there's also an 83-year cycle. Just, you know, I haven't done the full research on this, but just take where we are now and subtract 83 years, right? That goes back to 1940. The United States was still in the grip of the Dust Bowl, a giant drought in the Midwest. You will notice that as of May 15th, wheat, oil, and all ag commodities were up. There is a drought in the Midwest. You can go to my Twitter and check out what's going on there with water. Okay, obviously you also had the World War II thing. Go back 83 years before that, you get 1857. Okay, you had a Supreme Court ruling saying that a certain ethnic group in the United States had absolutely no rights at all. None. And you had a financial panic of 1857 where you had fraud, embezzlement, and a bank holiday where banks in New York were closed anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months, according to whatever data is out there. Okay? You also had this financial panic exacerbate tensions between the North and the South in the U.S., leading to civil war. Go back 83 years before that. 1974, the Boston Tea Party. The English pass a law that anybody in the British colonies who doesn't want to pay taxes is going to be in big trouble. So the Americans convened the Continental Congress and did what Americans have always done. When they're unhappy about money, they got violent. And they dumped the English, they dumped the shipment of English tea into Boston Harbor. Okay? So, geopolitical things can happen. Commodities up, dollar down. Right? The candlesticks are the dollars. The blue line is commodities. GLDN, commodities. Dollar, lower. Eventually, Bitcoin higher. But we may have to get this government credibility problem out of the way. Because as we said earlier in the show, June is the D date. Okay? People have lost confidence in Powell. The red line is the interest on our debt. Okay? Now, this helps crypto, but higher interest rates do not help crypto. The blue line is the defense budget. Okay? And that is the PowerPoint section of the market update. Okay, so I ripped through that because I wanted to keep you engaged and not bore the hell out of you. Okay? Crypto Elf of Rivendell, a lot of new people on the stream today, noting that Rice is going to the moon. Okay? King, my number one fan, sir, I appreciate that. Okay, Ali is here. Welcome. Rung again says, stop it, Kramer. Please stop it. Please stop it. Right? Rung again says, when notorious token. Okay. You know what? I think the notorious token is GLDN. I couldn't have built it any better. You know, the only thing that Michael Burry wanted to buy after 2008 was water. I mean, Gates, all these guys, they're buying all the U.S. farmland that's outside of GLDN. Mind Your Biz is going to be on the next Twitter space that we have on Wednesday. He is our chief technology officer for the Emerging Asset Group. We are executing, but for somebody to say that we have to have, I'm sorry, that Twitter space is Thursday. For somebody to say that we're like a stock and we have to have earnings. Yeah, of course we need to have earnings. We need to create demand for our token by consuming it with the earnings from our businesses. But if they're mooning meme coins, the notorious token, not investment advice, is like GLDN. That's what it is. Now, would I like to have my own token? Yeah, sure. But would I want people to buy that and then have it not have the utility? I thought about it. Okay. I'm sure everybody's thinking about it. But what I'd rather have people do is think about something that I believe in. Because even though I don't have 1 million followers, I do want the people who listen to this show to at least have some good ideas. Not everything in research is a great idea. Not every trade is a good trade. But in research, you get paid for imagination. So I actually think meme coins are great. Because the higher they bid up meme coins, the more they're going to realize that one day, wow, there's a 6 million market cap project out here that's doing something that's outside the system. We're fighting the system, right? The notorious coin would be NOT, not the system. It's out there. Okay, let's go to Live TA and see what we got. Okay, Rave Song Records says trying to get some GLDN, but the ETH gas fees are ridiculous. Yes, I get that, right? You know, that really hurts. That's why people are chasing meme coins, because they got to get a huge return in order to justify the gas. All I would say about gas is gas under proof of stake is not the way gas was under proof of work. Okay, let's talk about ETH. This is a 4-hour chart of ETH. Okay. ETH is kind of currently in like a downtrend, right? It topped at 2,000. This is a 4-hour chart. So here's, you know, the 1 wave, the 2 wave correction, the 3 wave down, the 4 wave correction. And if this is correct, then there should be a 5th wave down. So there should be a new low below 1,700. Now, this head and shoulders top, okay, you have a squat bar here. Squat bars can be very interesting inflection points. They can be, you know, they can tell you that you're plus or minus 1 or 2 candles away from a top or a bottom. Okay. Higher interest rates and greater regulation do not favor crypto in like a sell in May and go away environment. Okay. Now, maybe it's just a range. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. But you do have to be careful of Gensler, and you have to be careful about wild valuations on stuff, because 19.9 ended badly. Meme coins could end badly, right? I mean, there's one or two things going on, right? You have a project that trades at 6 million that's executing on real businesses with a real team. And you have, you know, Disney character coins and cartoon coins with huge valuations, or the same valuation with no apparent utility and no driver for demand going forward, other than it's the meme coin of the week. Okay. It's the meme coin of the week. So, you know, in ETH, you have to be careful. You know, in Bitcoin, it's the same thing. Okay. In this case, I can actually draw the head and shoulders just so you can see it, how that's done, if that's of interest. Sometimes live TA is very popular. Okay. So with this head and shoulders, you know, they're either running stops. Okay. Here's the shoulder. Here's the shoulder. Now with these formations, as I draw them, the more people talk about them, the less likely they are to work. Okay. If you get a whole bunch of strong closes above these necklines, that can invalidate the pattern. Okay. I think if you get more than 2 closes above that line, you can invalidate it. Just remember, ETH's got the same thing going on, right? But again, everybody's now looking at the same thing. So be that as it may. Let's make sure we take a look at bonds. Actually, you know what? Let's keep it crypto-centric. King is here. Okay, let's take a look maybe at DeMark work. See where the DeMark charts are on 4 hours. By the way, as a reminder, additional market updates are available inside the Gold Retriever Telegram community. By the way, there is no money involved to be in the GLDN Telegram community, where I do webinars on Wednesdays and Fridays. You just got to be in the Telegram group to get the notifications. So Cardano, you have a 9 top, okay, and you have resistance at 38 cents. That's a 4-hour chart. Okay, on a daily chart, you got resistance at 38 cents. Just like with all these head and shoulders, you know, it's either going to go, you know, the pattern's either going to work and it's going to go down, or the pattern's going to break and everything will go up. Okay. Sarujan, welcome. Okay. Okay. Jamie MC, GLDN, non-investment advice is available through Uniswap. And my producer showed me something today. It was a cow-related thing. I think it's cow swap to prevent front running. Gas fees are high. The Bark water token, you have to use, you can still use Uniswap, but you have to use GLDN to buy it. So when Coca-Cola and everybody goes and buys water, right, if they do it on chain, they're going to have to do it by buying GLDN first. Okay. Again, 6 million market cap. That's low. Low market cap tokens, they can go lower. But if meme coin season continues to ramp up, again, relative valuations need to apply. I would think. I mean, I've been doing this market update since I've been on my own since November. And there hasn't been much of a case to mention GLDN because it's been in a downtrend, because everyone's telling us we have to execute. We are executing. We are. And we're certainly executing more than meme coins. They don't execute. They just go up a lot. Okay. Avalanche. People talking about token unlocks. You got a 13 or a 9 bottom. Okay. A 13 and a 9 bottom. So this looks good for Avalanche. Like, I kind of wish Avalanche would. I wish every coin looked like this. Then you get stupid bullish, right? So, I mean, if you want to get long an altcoin, this would be it. Now, that said, beware the failed rally, right? If you have bullish signals and you don't get a rally, that's bad. That's bad, right? Let's go to just say 90-minute. Okay, so you got a 9 top and you're working on a 13 top and resistance is at 1550. So again, beware the failed rally. Okay. All these big layer ones. Okay, so there's no real DeMark signals one way or the other, except for the fact that, you know, it looks like this was the first leg up and this was a 2-wave down. And then in a glorious world where everything just indiscriminately moons, right? Jupiter can actually inflate everything. Geopolitical tensions, bubbles. God, would I love it if that's what happened? Would I love it, right? If you got some big move to Bitcoin down to 25 and then all this stuff reversed, right? If the sell in May and go away thing was mostly done in April, okay, you can make a bullish case for this. You could make a bullish case for altcoins. The question is ETH going to cooperate? The question is, will the bond market cooperate? So, you know, I know you want to go back to altcoins. I get it. But altcoins rise and fall with interest rates. Period. Okay, this is long bonds, right? The long bond futures contract. Let's just go to a 4-hour chart. Okay. Now, it's kind of paid to trade it back and forth in this box. Okay, if long bonds that have been in this box, if they leave it to the downside, you're going to have higher interest rates. When you have higher interest rates, that's not good for Bitcoin. It's not good for Bitcoin. Now, maybe that just fuels the speculation in sludge, but I don't think it makes Algorand go up. Okay, top HD movie, welcome. Okay, the crypto clan is Jupiter is going to Jupiter in terms of expanding things. Okay, now just very interesting chart about Head and Shoulders. I wanted to kind of end with this. Interesting how Galaxy Digital, interesting how long this formation took to play out. This is probably the most bullish thing going on right now in crypto. This is what's called a complex head and shoulders bottom. Okay, 2 heads, 2 shoulders on each side. This like breakout, this like grinding return move, and now it's starting to pop up. This is the most bullish chart in crypto, that and maybe the Avalanche daily chart. This could mean the return of NFTs, right? In other words, the speculative juices in meme coins may actually filter out somewhere else, or they'll just take it to an extreme Jupiter style. But like I said, the geopolitical event, I just thought of this, the geopolitical event could be a U.S. default. And as Jerome Powell said, you do not want to live in a world where the U.S. defaults. You do not. Okay, let's go to DEX tools for just 1 second. Okay, so you have MCDAO, you have BEER, right? Is there any limit to, like, you know, are the Nintendo 64 games next? My guys from Debate Crypto were into Bambi last week. Okay. You know, they weren't doing much better than I was doing in GLDN. The thing is, they both have a 6 million market cap. I mean, let's just go to Coin Market Cap. Well, we don't have to go to Coin Market Cap. We were there already. Okay, and I got to go over to Debate. Actually, let's try Coin Market Cap. But is it Homer for Simpsons? So Homer is probably on its way down, is worth 8 million. And I don't think they have the rights from the Simpsons. GLDN is worth 5 million. The FU coin. Okay, that's it for today. That's the market update. Watch rates, watch Jupiter, watch things inflating, and that US default is coming. See you next time.